Hey, it's Lowery Smith of the CommanderSmiths here with searching for the spotlight. Raffine. I'm not going to say the full name because part two got us in trouble because of the second word right there. We were being deceiving or whatever, so we got to figure that out. But a little goofy in my mind. So yeah, but we have um ended up needing about 20 cuts by the end of last night. I cut 6 this morning, and so starting to like how the deck is looking. It's looking nice and thin and trim. I got ended up cutting Swords of Plowshare, Path to Exile. I already kind of had a lot of stuff that dealt with creatures, so I was thinking I could just get rid of that. Winged Words, it didn't discard, so that can kind of work together. Again, Vana's Hunger, just enough stuff that dealt with creatures that I thought I could get rid of it. Dream Trawler, I think, is still awesome. But I cut it because when it comes down this late in the game and I'm drawing a bunch of cards, it's not doing anything unless it's attacking. And there are everything else up in that range is either like doing really, really big things right when they're hitting like Psychosis Crawler or whatever. So cut that. And then Springleaf Drum was just something um that I think I could cut. I only have 4 creatures that are at the one spot, so it was worth the cut. So those are the cuts. I'm at like 176 cards, so we have 15 that we need to cut. Let's quick do a couple plugs. We got a podcast that comes out every Wednesday. We're pretty consistent on that. We've only missed one time in the last 4 years. Um, we do some curated cards this week or today I did Flickering Ward, which is a cool aura. Check that out on the shorts feed. Adam does Proxy Times on Sundays. He's my co-host and cousin, so don't worry about that. And we both kind of do decks. We do the podcast. We do a bunch of stuff. So if you want to check it out, check it out. Uh yes, WC one time in 4 years. Unacceptable. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. And that was pre-COVID too. COVID's really allowed us to be on point. We're not going anywhere. And also being able to that's when we started not doing it in person either. So it works. Added a couple cards. I don't even remember what I added. Maybe just one or two back in. So I have 15 cuts I need to make. Hopefully some people in the chat can help me here. Again, like and subscribe, whatever. Do your thing. Help us in the algorithm. That's how that goes. All right. So Raffine is sweet. You're here because you probably know it, but you're drawing, you're discarding, and putting counters on things. Can play a little bit from the graveyard. Some cool stuff can kind of happen here. All right, Grim Hireling. Do I have an order to this? No, I don't. Let's just shuffle this shit up and just see if anything stop or pops out. I'd cut Raffine. Probably not, Paul. I don't know about that. I don't know about that either. Yo, Jesus. Cut the first one, Grim Hireling. No, you're the one that was going off, was going 6 treasure. I'm gonna be able to hit for 6 treasure per turn with Grim Hireling. The card's probably pretty good, right? All right. Soul Ring, probably keep that. Right. Dousing Dagger, I was thinking is pretty cool. Yeah, Grim Hireling's pretty good, and it just works here. Dousing Dagger, I think I'm gonna be able to get the hit in. So like the flip, that's pretty solid. Ramp. So I kinda like that here. The first one was a Raffine. All right. All right. Officially not helping. Okay. Siren Storm Tamer. I like the counter. I like it's cheap, it's evasive, it works for me. Malevolent Hermit. I like that it has disturb. I don't it's cheap to come out. It has a counter spell. Then it's 2/2 flying, non-creature spells you control can't be countered. So that means like I added Ink Shield. It creates an army, so I figured why not? That would be crazy good. in here. Benevolent or Malevolent, the Hermit might go. Ink Shield, I like it as I as an idea. It's good prevention. You're thinking that Hermit's too good? Keep Ink Shield. 5 mana is too steep. That's I agree with you, Jesus. I still want to I think it could work here. Like going wide is really important with Raffine, I think, but maybe it doesn't matter. It is good. I think I got to get rid of the Hermit just because I don't care if my spells get countered. I don't have a lot of them. I'm more creature based in this deck, so maybe it just doesn't matter. But I'll listen about Ink Shield. For now, I think we'll just cut it. Yeah. Yep. That's where I think. All right. Siren's good. Dowsing's good. Soul Ring, obviously. Tainted Indulgence. I kept this in there because number one, an instant, but also has a potential to discard. And I got plenty of cards in there that work with that. Teferi's Protection works really well with the counters, keeping those around. Curiosity is just easy drawing. Strixhaven Stadium, potential win right there. Added sort of the Animus back in. I'm going to be aggressive and I'm going to be able to ramp that way. Storm of Souls is a good way to get all my creatures back or whatever I've binned. I liked it there. Shadow Grange Archfiend is a good way to just have everybody sacrifice a creature. I should be able to gain life back. And it's cheap and it's big. And I can be aggressive with it. Psychosis Crawler. Um, this is one of those that I was saying, like, I can land it for 5 mana, attack with 4 creatures, have, everybody lose another 4 life. That makes sense to me, to whereas the other Sphinx just didn't do anything at 6 mana. Archfiend of Spite. I think this is one card that's going to just stop people from attacking me, and it gets rid of like Blasphemous Act type wraths because they're just not going to want to do that. And it has Madness. I'm just thinking this is a spot that can work. It has flying, but maybe it's just too fat. Maybe it doesn't do enough. That can be a maybe pile. Baleful Strix. I got yelled at for trying to cut this last night. And I understand. I love it. I'll keep it. Grazilax. It's a great card. I like it. I like being able to pick up creatures like Baleful Strix if I need to, or, it just protects. It's great. Mist of Stagnation is going to keep everybody's stuff tapped down more than mine. Beast of Sanity is going to be dealing damage. Ghostly Prison stops the attack on that. Shadowstorm Vizier, early blocker, and can get big pretty quick. Resourceful Defense keeps the counters around from them dying. Faith of the Devoted pings everybody. Island Sanctuary. This is I like it, but we'll have to maybe when I divide it up and see what can go. Reconnaissance stays, Land Tax stays, Command the Dread Horde I think stays. Grim Hireling is good. Curious Obsession, yes. Anguished Unmaking. Okay, this is another fat one that I almost cut, and then in comparison to that Sphinx, it's kind of like when it comes down and I discard those cards, it works. I'm going to be reducing the power of people's creatures. And so I figured this can stay at this point. And it also discard, it plays into itself. So it works in my mind. Added Cartographer's Hawk. Now I get that it's not amazing, but it can ramp me. It's evasive. It's a flyer. It helps with Raffine. And then if it comes back to my hand, I don't have to replay it. I can just discard it pretty easy for value. So just a thought. I was thinking that would work. Stormscape Familiar works. Paradise OOP makes sense. Guardian of Faith works. Bone Miser's crazy. Timna apparently is really good. Talisman, Signet, Talisman. Frontline Medic allows me to be really aggressive and has that potential counterspell on X spells. Fairy Seer is just cheap, flying, a little bit of scry too. Archfiend of Ifnir is going to be crazy in here. Again, 5 drop comes down, attack with 3 or 4 creatures. All my opponent's creatures get -4/-4, like counters. Propaganda, stop that crackback. Feast and Famine, Teferi's Ageless Insight. Planar Birth, Chart a Course, Unfulfilled Desires. So Chart a Course hopefully makes it because of that discard, and maybe not. It doesn't matter either way. Unfulfilled Desires, Tortured Existence, Retribution of the Ancients, Currency Converter, Wayfarer's Bauble, Animation Module, Treasure Cruise? Maybe. All right, what are you saying? What do you think about Settle the Wreckage? Use it when an opponent attacks someone else. Play it after damage, then swing in yourself. I mean, it makes sense. It's good. I I'd probably rather run Ink Shield though. One black mana more, or but I get the creatures out of it, and that's probably what I would look for anyway. Settle Wreckage has done some work, but not in this deck for me. I have it in my Kenrith deck that's anti-landfall. So, yeah, yep, I will pile them into the blueprint piles. I'm just going through it initially and just seeing if there's anything that kind of stands out. Because when I step away from a deck and I haven't thought about it since this morning, I come back to it, um, and then that allows me to kind of refreshes my brain a little bit, and so that's helpful. I might cut Treasure Cruise. I don't know if I really want to be delving. If anybody wants to say that I'm just going to be fucking crazy, because Treasure Cruise is really good in a graveyard deck, let me know. But well, we'll see. All right. Ink Shield is probably better in this deck. Okay. You're kind of Ozolith is going to keep my counters around the +1s, boost, Greaves makes sense. Deep Analysis with the flashback is the big thing. Ledger Shredder, totally. Cerulean Drake. All right. I guess here's a question: is Cerulean Drake at 2 mana as good as Malevolent Hermit? So it's a free sack. Let's free sacrifice versus a blue mana. This absolutely counters target spell that targets you, and then counter target non-creature spell this is more general and specific. This can be played from the graveyard and has extra stuff. Um, I'm gonna say Hermit's better. I'm gonna cut the Drake. Let's cut the Drake for now. And then I guess let's go back. Let's see if we can find the Storm Tamer. Let's see here. I like Storm Tamer because it's at like 1 blue. Where the fuck are you? All the way at the bottom. All right. So we have the 1 blue targets you or a creature you or a creature you control, and counter target spell that targets you. I think Storm Tamer is better than Drake. All right. So we're cool cutting the Drake. Anybody disagree? Let's see here. The Hermit counters anything. Yeah. Yeah. It can even counter a boat. This guy knows what's up. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good bit. Good bit. What's in the box? Adeline making a bunch of creatures. Yeah, that's good. Skulker. Yeah. Cunning Survivor. I like Familiar. Felicia. Crashing Drawbridge. Spell Queller. Toothy. Because this is a leaves the battlefield. It doesn't have to die. So that's kind of big. Like that's some big draw right there. First Sphere Gargantuan, Mausoleum Wanderer makes sense. Vengeful Pharaoh is just free, destroy a creature, blot out the sky. So one thing I was thinking about with this morning, I like Drake Haven and Rabble Rousing at this point. I was thinking maybe the problem with this is this probably hits me the most. I have plenty of artifacts and enchantments that this could definitely hurt me pretty bad. Um, but excuse me, I don't have to go over 6. I can just, pay 5, get 5 flying tokens, and be happy. 5, 6, 7 for 7. It's variable there. I wouldn't be displeased with that. Uh, always want to I'm I'm potentially a little iffy on Toothy. I like Toothy. I like the idea of Toothy in here because that's part of what I want to be doing. It's kind of like a Chasm Skulker, but instead of getting creatures, I'm getting to draw, which is good. Which is good. I'm happy with that. Um, all right. We're down 4, so we have 11 left. Let's do the blueprint thing that Alex is asking for. High end maybe cut fine. Which one? Oh, 2. Okay. Removal. And then this is going wide, removal. And we considered counterspells removal yesterday. Draw. That is draw. Counterspell. I consider haste protection. This is going wide. Counter. This is going tall. This is going tall and wide. Also tall and wide. Protection. Let's see here. Make sure we get everything on. All right. Counter. This is drawing, protection. Technically, we can consider Ozolith protection. Going wide, ramp. This is technically ramp. Removal, recursion, drawing, ramp, ramp. Protection, removal, drawing. That's protection. Ramp. Draw. We're gonna consider this. I don't know what the fuck we considered this. It's all over the place. I don't like it as ramp as much, but probably accept it as draw. Protection, ramp. This is removal. Probably protection. It's pretty similar to um not, just not having people attack you rather than removal. Removal, that's draw, that's ramp, recursion. Recursion can go into the card advantage spot sometimes, depending on what you want to be doing. Land tax is going to be card advantage. Protection. That's just kind of a little pinging. We'll call that protection. That's going tall. Protection. Oh, that can be removal, though. That can be removal. Draw. A little bit of pinging. Removal. Recursion. Ramp. Draw. Protection. Draw. Ramp. All right. So we need to get 11 out of here. I still like the idea of Psychosis Crawler and Faith Devoted, and I like my 3 recursion bits. Like this, Tortured Existence is going to be just really good with cards like Faith of the Devoted or Feast of Sanity and Archfiend of Ifnir because you're discarding a creature card. Choose and discard a creature card. And so, like, you're able to just automatically just keep on for every black having discarding a card, and it can go really well. Um, so let's look at making that army. Animation module makes sense to me. Felicia might be a little work. Oh, I like the idea of Felicia though, because it adds counters. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, If it had counters on it, create X tapped 2/1 white and black inkling creature tokens with flying, where X is the number of counters it had on it. So if they want to kill your big thing, you're going to have an army, but that's more work. I don't have any sack outlets. All right, Felicia can go a little bit of wide. And that goes tall, tall and wide. Tall, tall. A little bit of both, but I like both of these. Adeline with Vigilance is pretty nice. Chasm Skulker, kind of the same thing, but I guess the difference between the two is Felicia needs something with a bunch of counters on it, whereas Chasm Skulker does it on its own. Like this is just an extra step. Like you build around this commander and it's going to be really cool. But in this deck, I think you're maybe leaning on it a little bit too much. You're hoping that somebody's killing your creatures. So yeah, let's cut that. Probably fine there. All right. Bye, Felicia. All right. I like that, Alex. That's all right. I like the idea of the phasing. It doesn't get rid of the counters. And then also we have resourceful defense and Ozolith in here to protect the counters a bit. Haste enablers make sense to me. So we want those. We have propaganda, ghostly prison, island sanctuary, to have people not attack me, along with all seeing arbiter. So that's kind of what I was thinking. I always cut. God darn it. Okay. Reconnaissance is in. Frontline medic makes a ton of sense to me here. I think Island Sanctuary has to go for now. If I feel like I'm not missing that draw step is not brutal, then I can potentially add it back in. But it does feel bad skipping a draw. And then I have 3 things. That might work. I like so one thing is I like Crashing Drawbridge for the haste ability, but also it goes really well with Storm of Souls and Command the Dreadhorde, like being able to bring back all those creatures and then just give them haste. But also in this, I'm an aggressive deck. I want to be able to have my creatures having haste. And so Crashing Drawbridge is a nice, easy blocker at the beginning. And then as I get going, I can um, just start giving everything haste. So that's my thought on that. Other than it's the best card in Magic too, but all right. Um so getting down nitty gritty, how much do I have for removal? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. So when it ETBs, each opponent sacrifices a creature with greater power among creatures you control. You gain life equal to the greatest power among creatures sacrificed this way. I plan on manacing it this, so 3 and 8 life, which kind of is a lot, but the mana cost is ridiculous to get an A4. That can be really nice. I'm down keeping that. Miss a Stagnation. Don't untap during their controller's untap steps. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player untaps a permanent for each card in his or her graveyard. You basically lock somebody out with like a Baga or Bajuka Bog. Just get their shit. Feast of Sanity is just free. That makes sense to me. This is just a cover all. Can hit everything but a land. Archfiend wins. Mm, I'm all right with that. I'm all right with that. Malevolent Hermit. I still, back to that. I think I like that now. Siren Storm Tamer makes sense. Judge's Familiar. Spell Queller. Mausoleum Wanderer. Vengeful Pharaoh. Blot out the sky. All right. drawing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Ugh, 16. I must have cut some somewhere. All right. Tainted. I don't know if I want to cut any of this at this point. I'm not displeased with any of this. If not, I need to fit in more, but I don't want to. So we'll call that. Play my own deck, stop removing everything? I don't even know what that means. I got to cut down to get to the deck. Alex, come on, man. Ramp 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So right around there too. I probably don't want to be cutting anything from here either. Just because I know I got to do that. All right. I said we had to cut 15 right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 9 more to cut, right? Son of a. All right. We can set these almost off to the side because I don't want to touch them. Let's see if there's any other like card advantage and ramp cards in here just randomly. Because that happens. I can consider that a draw card, so we don't want to get rid of that too much. Guardian of Faith, Protection, Skulker. Oh, that'd be it. Okay. So we're keeping that off. We're not cutting any of those for my ramp or draw. We're at 16, 17-ish, that range. We don't want to go much lower than that. How many go wide cards in here? There's not many at this point. But like token generators, let's consider this. Drake Haven, Rabble Rousing, Animation Module, Adeline, Chasm Skulker. Let's see here. Ooh. And Blot Out the Sky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not a lot. And I kind of want those as well. Because I mean, basically, Drake Haven and Raffine are just an engine on it in itself. You know, I could just attack with a bunch and double the amount of cards or creatures that I have on the board. I don't want to cut these, but they make sense to cut. I mean, they're cheap and aggressive. I want to keep them. Shit. All right. I think I need to cut the other Madness card. How afraid am I of the crackback? Is that something that I'm actually worried about? I have Mist of Stagnation. Let's try and get rid of those. How in trouble? I think I'm going to cut these two and put in the 4 mana one. So I'm only going down 1, which is going to throw off my fucking math. But let's see. This is cuts from yesterday. Let's see if we can find that. There we go. Collective Restraint. That can help against the crackback. So we cut Ghostly Prison and Propaganda, but adding in Collective Restraint. So we're down, need to cut 8. I don't think I'm gonna cut Crawler. I like Psychosis Crawler in here. I like those. I like those. I might cut the Madness guy. He's a little go tall. He can, he gets 3 creatures. You gain a little bit of life, but you're paying 8. He potentially is a dead card, so you might be, 8 life is a lot. The reanimation part for Dread Horde isn't doing a whole ton. Like I'm not gonna want to reanimate him. I think we'll cut him. I think it would have been a good deck there, for him, but I don't necessarily want to do that. I still so you're kind of advocating for crashing drawbridge, huh? What the fuck, Dempsey? I'm not adding stasis and winter orb. Jesus. Um yeah, fuck it. Why not? All right. Let's do crashing drawbridge. I'll take that advice. I'll keep it nearby just to see how the deck plays out and everything. I don't want the crackback all the time. They're a little expensive here, but it's more for late game anyway, maybe? All right. Removal. Hmm. Just getting rid of creature removal. Is that what I'm going to start thinking about? Retribution of the Ancients. Die to protect their houses, and they protect them still. I think it's cool. I think, I haven't played with the card. I think it'd be solid in here. Let's see here. Let's see. I like Psychosis Crawler, Tortured Existence, Faith of the Devoted. What would you guys think about getting rid of Ozolith and Resourceful Defense? Do you think that's just a bad idea? I have the 2 phasing things, which are kind of doing the same thing. And so we have Teferi's Protection and Guardian Knight. Guardian of Faith. I just fucking... They're kind of doing the same thing, trying to save those counters. But I got plenty of cards that don't have counters. Like it just works with Raffine. Guardian and Teferi can protect everything, and this is only working with technically 1, but it's not helping me not lose progress. If I had if everything was having counters and I was throwing all that around, I think I'd be more inclined to do that. So I think I'm going to cut these 2. At this point, getting rid of Ozolith is okay, I think. All right. All right. I'm not gonna, what? I don't have Mesmeric Orb in here, Paul. On what creature count is? Not right now. I have enough of it. Well, Paul, the thing about Guardian of Faith 2 in this deck is if I'm finding that I don't need it, I can just discard it. But if people are wrathing or really targeting my stuff, I can save my stuff. All right. Looks like Alex is wondering what my creature count is. And I'm okay with that. It's technically not a creature. And then cards that create creatures. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 31 creatures. And that's right around that's a good number. Um 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 4 more cuts. That's where we're at. All right. 4 more cuts. I just shuffled my draw and my ramp in here, which I said I was not going to cut. So that was silly. Let's see here. Let's look at our curve. Yeah, let's look at our curve. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3. There we go. All right. I'm not. I plan on 38 land, and that's important to me to stick with my OCD rules and just make sure that I have enough. But I probably don't actually need it. In here, I'm going to see a lot of land, or I should at least. Maybe, maybe not. Toodaloo, toodaloo. That's a 2-er. 3, 2. So I know people play less land than me, but I don't like that. That is cutting land is the quickest way to get out of a game. Um, if I were to cut land, I would be replacing it with moxes or diamond, stuff like that. That's very fast mana. But I'm happy with the range of where my speed is, although a little bit slow and grindy. Like it's not bad. 6, 1, call that 4, 2, 2, 2, 6. Doing all right in the one spot. 1s, 2s, and 3s. Yeah, I think I have to keep blot out the sky. Like I think it's just a cover all, get rid of everything because I don't think I have enough like removal on the spot of like enchantments and artifacts. So I think I just need to keep it. All right. 38 land and land tax. Jesus Christ. All right, Alex, come on. All right, AJ, I didn't see you here. Would it be wrong of me to say your thumbs remind me of MH Snowlands? No, that'd be accurate, AJ. That would definitely be accurate. I think those colors 38 is probably good. Yep. Okay. So people are agreeing 38 makes sense. I just like 38 in 3-color decks. That's just kind of what I prefer. Blot out the sky is going to. I think that needs to be in there. I like these in the 6th spot. There's not a lot of cards here that are going to go over the top. Mist of Stagnation is going to help with not having things come back. Archfiend is good. Psychosis Crawler is probably going to be really good. Feast of Famine. Um, Bone Miser, Rabble Rousing. I said I had 4 to cut. Feast and Famine's insane to cut, right? That's just silly. Um, hmm. The big thing is like being able to play those cards that you get to see after attacking. That stays. There's no way that goes. Come on. Sorry about knocking the camera. All right. 4 spot. I still like the idea of dousing dagger. Collective restraint makes sense to me. Feast of sanity, grim hireling, toothy, Teferi's agent's insight. I didn't hate any of those. But we're not in the hate range. Hate. Guardian of faith. Okay. When it enters the battlefield, any number of other target creatures you control phase out. Um, we'll keep. Frontline medic makes sense. Teferi's protection, obviously. Spell queller. Faith of the devoted. Strixhaven Stadium. I mean, you got a good point. I think it works in here, and I want to play it. All right. Add a colorless. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to me, take the counters off there. And whenever I have creatures that deal damage, how wide am I going? We already kind of talked that I don't have a ton. I don't have a ton of wraths. I don't have. I think this goes. Yep. We'll cut Strixhaven. Good suggestion, Alex. I like First Sphere. I like Unfulfilled Desires. Grazilax. Timna should draw me enough. Anguished Unmaking. Adeline. Drakehaven. Chasm Skulker. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Stadium went for sure. All right. Down to 3. The countdown. Final countdown. All right. Stormscape Familiar makes sense to me. It's cheap, easy to cast blue and black or white and black spells. Cartographer's Hawk. I probably like that better than Sword of the Animist. I kind of want Hearth and Home in here too, but I don't have a lot of ETB stuff either, so that doesn't really matter. I like this. I'm fine with that. Talisman, Signet, Doot. Yep, I want to keep that. Ornithopter of Paradise. Planar Birth is going to do some work here. Just a couple of cheap things that have a discard effect there. Deep Analysis has the flashback, which is easy. Drawing 2 cards. I just got rid of a ramp card, right? Don't. I think we cut it. I think we cut Deep Analysis. 2 and 3 life probably is just too steep. Would Think Twice just be a little, because I would be able to play both sides of it. Get interaction and recursion type stuff. Be okay. We can cut Deep Analysis. Maybe not. I don't know. Ledger Shredder is probably going to be bonkers. Baleful Strix is good. Good. All right. 2. We'll go through and count again. Existence makes sense. Soul Ring. That's a free removal. Reconnaissance. Judge's Familiar. Siren. Mausoleum. Currency Converter. Wayfarer's Bauble. Curiosity. Land Tax. Obsession. Fairy Seer. Retribution of the Ancients. And Animation Module. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. $62. One more, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 62. All right. Yep. One more card to cut. All right. All right with that. One more card. Anything that they just hate. Hate. Cut a spot removal. Alex, stop. Maybe not a bad idea. Um Now I like this a lot more that now that I cut Ozlith because and that other card, just because like it's doing something with those counters if somebody's like trying to kill it. And then I can be like, well, black, remove them all, kill that. That makes sense to me. There's Seer, Curious Obsession, Land Tax, Curiosity, Wayfarer's Bauble, Currency Converter, Mausoleum Wanderer, Judge's Familiar, Connaissance, Boom. Yeah, that makes sense. Baleful Strix, Ledger Shredder, Chart Course, Tainted, Later Birth. I just don't have a lot there. All right. All right, Alex. Spot removal is for the Lowery of your play group to worry about. Yeah, that's me. I worry about it. Nice job, Jesus, on getting Evelyn done. I know you've been working on that for a week or two now. I don't actually have that much spot removal in here though either, Alex. So that's not good. Um I don't know what to do. There's a bunch of soft counter spells in here. It's weird. I don't really play this kind of deck. Um Sort of the Animist and or not both, but Cartographer's Hawk. I like that this is a creature. Let's see here. Tell me if I'm crazy. Stormscape Familiar, Chasm Skulker, Drake Haven, Adeline, Anguished Unmaking, exile target non-land permanent, you lose 3 life. All right. Timna, Grazilax, Unfulfilled. Why should I be cutting the hawk? For Sphere, Faith of the Devoted. I need more creatures, right? I plan on running 12 basics at least, but more like yeah. Normally, I get 12 in a deck. Well, why does it go? Why does it go against the counter theme? Oh, just because it's. I mean, it's still ramp potentially, right? And if it bounces back to my hand, I have more stuff to discard if I don't want to be playing it. Like if it becomes useless. I don't know most cards by name. I can't read cards fast enough on here. Then maybe the sword isn't as good here. Why do you think it's not as good here? Because the sword will just keep on getting, 12 is enough. Because I don't have like the green cards that go and get basic lands. Like I don't have Rampant Growth. I don't have those kind of cards. And so this will always get me going. I'll always be able to get a basic land with that. Furious Protection, Mind Medic. But the Hawk is a creature. That's what I'm going back and forth between. is having a lot of, ones and twos in creatures, being able to pump them out quick enough and maybe swarm, but if I don't have enough density there, it's not gonna do the work that it needs to do. That's kind of that back and forth of what I'm worried about. Maybe Guardian. Maybe I just need Teferi's Protection to save my ass that one time. Maybe that's what the deal is. Fury's Ageless Insight, Toothy, Grim Hireling, Feast, Collective Restraint. The other downside of both of these is they shut off land tax. That is a little bit of a bummer, but the more I have of that, the more likely. Dousing Dagger, Feast and Famine, Bone Miser, Rabble Rousing, Mist of Stagnation. This makes sense in here, right? Like nobody's saying like don't do that. What is the true theme? It's trying to draw cards and discard cards and have triggers of that happening. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do, is having draw cards, something happens, discard cards, something happens, and work with the counters that are there. Understand that creature's going to go into the graveyard just because I have to discard stuff in general. I lost the ability of casting cards from the graveyard. Probably just had to thin that out. I think I only have like one or two in here that do that. So like no more flashback, no madness. So that just had to keep on cutting down those things that are going on. What does it do? It's attacking. Guys, come on here. All-Seeing Arbiter. I think I'm going to go Guardian of Faith. I think that's it. Let's keep the ramp in there. All right. 4 or 5. Let's just break this up into, just make sure we have enough of everything. And then we'll probably just call it quits. A little bit of stuff going on. Sorceries. Creatures. Pew. Creature. I don't know about all it does is win, win, win. Yeah, I don't really go over the top. So I don't play, I'm not going to be playing Cyclonic Rift unless the deck needs it. I'm not going to play Tormentor Hailfire. I mean, there's just a low to the ground aggressive deck that's hopefully going to draw me enough cards. Stuff 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. 26 actual creatures. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And that's what I'm worried about with Blot Out the Sky. But again, I'm worried about just getting locked out of combat because I am pretty combat focused. It allows everything in the deck to just kind of work. And if somebody plays something that doesn't allow me to attack, I'm in trouble. And that's why Blot Out the Sky basically is a hold in this deck. Holy shit. No way. Hold on. All right. That's at least, I have 3 instants in this deck. Jesus. That seems low. That seems low. Giggity. All right. Everybody's just gonna attack you, Alex. Don't worry about protecting me. All right. I think that's it. Thanks for hanging out, guys. And maybe a gal? I don't know. I didn't see a gal making comments, but I don't doesn't matter. Doesn't fucking matter. Sorry. People, thanks for joining me, people. You have all been awesome and great and very helpful there at the end. These were hard cuts, they always are. And if you can get as good of friends as I have with you guys, maybe it makes it easier for you guys to build decks then too. So, that's Raffine. Hopefully, in less than 6 months, we will start having spotlight decks and just like total decks, deck lists coming. We'll see when that starts happening. So, thanks for coming. Bye.